All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blab today. My name is Andrew McCauley from Autopilot Your Business. We are going to dig into all the changes that have been going online in the last few days. This is a show we do every Tuesday and every Friday at this time. And we are going to be talking about what has been happening online in some of the social platforms. There's some big changes going on Facebook this week. And of course, I'm joined by my co-host, Will Hankey. G'day, Will.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, if you've just joined us and this is your first time, welcome. We do have some open seats if you want to jump in and have a discussion, just a chat, or even it doesn't have to be more than 2 minutes. If you want to jump in and just say hi, we'd love to have you on here. If you've got an opinion on some of the things that we're bringing up, then share away, or you can always comment. And if you want to tell a little bird about this show, we'd love it as well. Hey, Will, do you want to kick us off with what has been going on around the traps? What's our first topic of the day?
Well, I did want to really start real quick with Blab. I'm hearing a little echo on your end, it sounds like.
Oh, you are? Okay,
yeah.
Great. I'm going to have to try and find some headsets. So keep going and I'll fix that while we talk.
We do our show on Blab every week, so we like to kind of promote anytime that we see something different on there. And one of the things that we noticed on our show on Friday was that now you can actually reopen a Blab for up to 3 minutes after it's over, or what was even worse in the past was if you were the host of the Blab and you hit refresh, a lot of times it would kill that Blab and you'd have to start a brand new one, which really sucked if you didn't have another host. So that's a really cool thing that now they give you an option to reopen it for up to 3 minutes.
Yeah, we discovered that last week. In fact, we're discovering a lot of things when we finish our Blab shows, that something has just changed and happened.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the nature of a beta test, a site that keeps changing and evolving all the time. So, yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Little tidbit. So I wonder, some of the things we discover too, by the way, change again the week after, and it doesn't happen. So we're always seeing these things happening.
Yeah, we saw something happen on Tuesday, and then we had it on our schedule for Friday, and it was already gone. So
yeah.
That's all right.
All right, that's Blab. Anything else changing on Blab? I don't think I've seen too many other things change on Blab in the last couple of days, so that's a good thing.
No, it's been fairly quiet. Let's go ahead and jump into Facebook. We've got quite a few things going on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these are in no random order. Facebook and Instagram are now offering ads targeted at holiday shoppers. So that's pretty cool. Basically, it's a new audience that Facebook is creating on their own. And what they're doing is they're watching people that are engaging with Black Friday type offers, things like that. And then you can actually target those in your ads specifically to people that are engaging with Black Friday type stuff. And then you can still wrench that down a little bit so that it's still people within your interest group as well. So I think it's a cool thing. I think the audiences are going to be very small.
Is it going to be like when they say engage with Black Friday stuff? Is it people that are buying things? Is it people that are entering sweepstakes and competitions? Like, what's the? How are they going to decide that?
I don't know the answer to that. I think they're just using other Black Friday ads, and if people are clicking on those ads or something, they really don't know that people are buying things or not, other than the little Shopify thing that's going on. But I think they're just seeing other, like let's say Kohl's has a Black Friday ad out. If I click on that or like it or something like that, I'll probably be thrown into that Black Friday audience. And then, since I'm also interested in SEO, some other SEO guy or something might put an ad together that says, he's wanting to promote his SEO tutorial only to people that have engaged in Black Friday type ads or holiday related ads that also like SEO.
But if you're liking or doing something with a Kohl's ad and you don't care for Kohl's one bit,
right,
then suddenly you're going to be lumped into it. Or if you're looking at a fishing, fishing pro shop ad and you interact with that and you don't even fish or never have fished or you're a greenie sort of thing, you don't want to be seeing ads for the wrong sort of target market, right?
Right. Yeah, I think it's definitely important that if you're going to use the holiday audience, that you also put some other qualifier in there that they're, that they like a certain page or something related to your industry still.
Interesting, interesting. If anyone out there's thinking about testing those, let us know in the comments. We'd love to know if someone's thinking about jumping in and checking it out. And by the way, if you just joined us and you want to jump on and have a chat with us, we'd love to have a chat with you. We've got an open seat for you. We're talking about all the changes that are going on online. Will, what else have we got?
Facebook has also launched a new Facebook at Work chat app, which is kind of interesting.
Another app from Facebook.
Yeah, and we just talked about last week about how they're starting to launch all these individual little apps. I think it started with Messenger. Remember when that happened, and they made everybody go to use that as a separate one.
Yep.
Well, now they've got a version kind of Messenger specifically for work environments. So it's an internal chat kind of thing that you can do. I guess it's cool. I mean, people have been using those forever with Yahoo Instant Messenger and AIM, and
WhatsApp and Viber and all that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, what was the one with the little flower back in the day?
My Friendster.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of a different one, but I can't think of what it's called. But anyway, those chat environments have been around for a long time. So interesting that they decided to go ahead and launch one.
Yeah.
Now there is an app called Slack, which I think is a direct competitor of theirs, and I think they tried to buy that company, or they did something with Slack at one time, and it's gaining a lot of traction.
Yeah, Slack's been growing. I've had Slack for about a year now. I don't use it anymore. We used to use it for a bit, but I stopped using it because we downsized our team. I didn't need to have it. But there was some big hoo-ha going on during the week about Slack. It went out for about 12 hours, I think, intermittently for a lot of people. So there's all sorts of people up in arms about what was going on. But that was just a side note. I thought, well, we bring up Slack. They had some interesting tech issues this week too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I see Marguerite is jumping in there and asking about the new live feature. I think that's Facebook's play on Periscope.
Periscope, yeah,
which is only available right now, as she said, to celebrities, and they haven't rolled it out for everyone yet. So there's definitely a waiting list or something to get on that.
They will. They'll roll it out very soon, I think. It won't be too far away. I think they're ironing out the bugs, letting the celebrities fall flat on their face if it doesn't work, and then they can roll it out to the real people who are going to use it properly. Yeah. And so I think, but yeah, you're right, Margaret. It's a good app. I've been watching a few people on there, a few people that have taken it well. But it's just another competitor for Periscope and Meerkat. Very interesting to watch this space. I think next year the big thing is going to be streaming videos as it picks up speed. We saw a big increase in the middle of this year. Blab came around, of course, in July, August, whatever. And people are starting to sort of get used to it. And I noticed the numbers on different Blab shows are sort of flatlining for the moment. So I think there'll be a big interest come the new year when we get that mass take-up going on.
Yeah, I'm with you. I actually went through my Periscope last week and unfollowed a bunch of people where I wasn't interested in really seeing their live broadcasts. So I can imagine a lot of other people are doing the same thing where it's starting to either taper off or flatten out at least.
Yeah. Okay, so what else we got? Facebook. We got a few other things going on Facebook.
Yeah, they've also come with an agreement with Google to start to allow Google to index their mobile app, which is kind of strange and different. It's only the mobile version that is indexed inside Google right now.
Yeah. Now, from what I know about this, and you may know a little bit more, but they're only indexing publicly available information, which is already available on the web anyway. Right. So as long as they're going to index private content. So if you and I are having a discussion because we've logged into the app or logged into our Facebook page, they're not going to be able to index a conversation in our messages because that's sort of privatized. So that's what they tell us. They're not going to index that stuff because that'd be pretty tricky if suddenly your conversations were indexed and they come up on Google search. You'd have a bit of explaining to do to some people.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know that it's all that big a news, but news nonetheless.
Yeah. Well. But here's the thing is that a lot of this stuff now, and Google's just been really big into this now. They're indexing apps, and this has sort of been something that's been happening the last 6 months, is that now they're indexing a lot of information inside apps that are on iTunes and Amazon. We used to have a magazine on iTunes stand on the newsstand there, And one of the things about that magazine was that it wasn't indexed by Google, so we could use duplicate content from various contributors to put into our magazine. And we knew that we wouldn't get pinged for duplicate content, or they wouldn't get pinged for duplicate content, because we could use that content inside a mag. But now, because they're indexing it, that's going to switch. But once again, I'm not sure who are they going to ping for duplicate content? iTunes, Apple? I don't think so. So it's going to be one of those tricky things of that whole duplicate content issue. Who did it first, and who's going to get pinged more than anyone else?
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. We've actually got something a little bit later on about Google and some apps too that we'll get to.
Yes.
Let's continue with the Facebook tirade here.
Go. We gave them a rest last week, but it's time to open up.
So they're also going to soon allow people to search individual profile pages, which is actually pretty cool. So some people have seen in the wild where there's a search button on somebody's profile where it says search inside this profile.
Right.
So cool. I guess I don't know about any marketing implications for it, but if I remember that you had said something about some new tool a couple of weeks ago, I could go to your Facebook page and do a quick search. I'd find the information a lot faster that way, but I'd have to remember who said it.
Right. I think that what they're talking about is you can search their posts. You can search people's posts. So if you do know that somebody said something, or I remember you said something last year about it, you can do a search now. It's a bit like the group feature where you can actually search inside a group and look for a conversation that happened. And I know a lot of great groups that really run their groups well. They'll say, before you post a question in this group, use the search feature and type a search in and look for the conversation thread before asking it again, because people are getting sick of the same question. So they've already got that feature there. It's just a matter of turning it onto the profiles, which they've just done. So that will be interesting to see if people actually use it. I guess they'll know soon enough.
Post that link in there too.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Well, that's all the Facebook things we have. That was half the show. So.
Well, but don't go yet. We've got some more. There's other things that have been happening too. So if you want to jump in and have a chat with us, we'd love you to join in. We've got an open seat. Come on in, jump in. We'd love to have a chat. Okay, what else we got?
Microsoft PowerPoint is getting some new game-changing tools.
Finally, after 37 years, hooray!
Yeah, I think they might be a little late to the party on this one.
Well, they've got some. Now, this is only for 365 users. Office 365. Do you use 365?
Yep, I sure do.
This is updated. They're a little bit more. What they're trying to do is create PowerPoints. Or let you create PowerPoints that are designer style. Really good looking, slick PowerPoints. They've got a few new features in there. Morph is one of them, which sort of lets you have a few choices around the slide you want, or if you're going to insert an image, it says, hey, this is probably a good transition, or this is probably a good thing you can put in here. You select the one and bang, it's created. So the idea is to create good-looking PowerPoints without having to spend a lot of time doing it. I create a lot of PowerPoint presentations, although I use Keynote, but I do use PowerPoint when I'm using it on Google, when I'm using Google Hangouts. And the reason I do that is so I can show my PowerPoint in its own little screen when I'm sharing my screen. That's just a side techie tip. How about you?
I use PowerPoint once a month. I do a local meetup here in St. Louis, marketing meetup, so I always have some sort of slides related to that.
Yep.
But beyond that, don't use it too much.
Yeah. Yeah, well, some people use it all the time, and it's handy for them if they're going to whip up something good. They don't have to spend a lot of time doing it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So Vine has come out with some cool little tools. In the past, people have always had to, if they wanted to create something with their own music, they had to, there were several steps to go do it. Mm-hmm. Now what you can do is you can actually grab audio straight from somebody else's Vine, plug it into yours with your video, and boom, you're done. I think it's 2 or 3 clicks and you're finished.
Wow. I wonder why they thought of that. Sitting around a table thinking, what else can we do with our music? Let's see if we can pull some other people's music and stick it in there.
Right. It's going to be interesting how, what kind of copywriting type things there are. Because even the example that they show in the link I posted, it's a girl singing a song, what if that's her own song that's copyrighted? Now somebody else grabs it, puts it on theirs, and
yeah, that's a good point, actually.
yeah,
That's a good point. Yeah, interesting.
yeah, we'll see. I
We'll
don't
see.
know.
Yep, we'll see.
Google, we talked about this earlier. They're actually letting you start to stream some apps, which is pretty sweet. I think you know a little bit more about that than I do.
Yeah, so but basically they come out and they said, if you've got an app that is already a web version, or so to speak, you can use it on the web sort of thing, then they're going to this is on Android, by the way, they'll let you test the app without having to download the app infrastructure. So there's some big sites out there, Wall Street Journal and some of those others, that have already got this in play where, go and test the app before you download it, like a taste tester. I wonder what that will do for other apps, especially apps that are only app-based, and they want people to have a look at their app. Maybe they're going to be forced into making a site so that they can stream it, because they're not streaming the app as such, they're streaming from the website. So be interesting to see what that does.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier about the online magazine thing too. I could see how that might come into play, where people that have, a lot of those magazines have a web version as well.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah. Yep, just more information coming our way.
Yeah. Google also, speaking of apps, they've also lowered prices in a lot of other countries beyond or below the 99-cent threshold, and some of them quite a bit, down as low as I think 22, 23 cents.
Yeah, some of the Asian countries, Indonesia, I know, is 22 cents for an app. So they're trying to get in volume. I think you mentioned this. They're trying to probably get in volume because if 99 cents could be a lot of money for some countries, right?
Right.
So if they don't want, if they want more people to access the app, they're going to have to drop the prices. If someone's relying on that money as an app builder, and then suddenly, they drop the prices, all of a sudden that's affecting their revenue. But once again, it's like building your business on somebody's rented land. You don't have control of the landscape. It's going to be always a dicey thing to build your entire business on a landscape that's not yours.
Right. Now, I don't think they force the prices to go lower. I think they just give it as an option for the developers.
Oh, do they? Okay.
To lower their prices to that
amount. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. All right.
So that they may take a hit, like we said, on the overall revenue, but maybe their volume will go up in place for that.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, watch this space, I guess. Watch this space on that one.
Yeah. And then the last piece of news that we have, and if anybody wants to jump in, feel free to jump in and talk to us a little bit. But Twitter is expanding their emojis. So they're listening to the feedback related to the hearts and that whole fiasco, and they're coming up with some other emojis. I think it's fairly archaic now from what I've seen. There's only a couple different choices, a person crying and a 100, some crazy looking things. So
yeah, there's not a lot of choices, but I think what they're trying to do is just test the waters to see which ones are going to work, which ones are not going to work, and if people are even going to use them. I don't think they're expecting the backlash that they got about the favorites into hearts. There's something they just snuck in one day and they didn't tell anybody, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing to our little stars here? So now they're sort of backpedaling and said, quick, let's make some emojis and let's try and get them out there. As far as I know, it's only available on the mobile app, because you can't use it on the main thing, which is really weird. I think they should have those on the website version too. But anyway.
Yep, and I also saw some people talking about the fact that they might have used one of the emojis and an hour later it had reset to just the heart, as if they liked that post. So,
really?
Yeah, they've got some bugs to kind of work out with that. With the whole, it definitely screams that they just kind of threw these together in response to everybody's fussing about the hearts.
Yeah. Well, watch this space. This is what we do. We unearth this crazy stuff that's going on online and social media, and we do this show every week, twice a week, in fact, Tuesdays and Fridays, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern, and we just love digging in and finding out what's going on. In fact, this is how crazy it is. We can fill a half-hour show with stuff that's changed just in the last 2 or 3 days. So we'd love you to be a subscriber and check us out. And we do this every week. Anything else we want to do before we wrap up the show? I mean, we're early today. Wow, we ripped through that stuff.
Yeah, we went through quite a bit of things. I haven't seen anything new from Snapchat in the last couple of days, and only one thing from Twitter. That's kind of odd.
Yeah, right now it's kind of odd for sure. But we had about 6 things from Facebook, so that was all good.
That's true.
It'll be interesting to see. I guess we'll have some. We are going to be here on Friday, by the way. So if you're around on Friday, come and join us, which is the day after Thanksgiving here in the US. We'll still do a show. We'll be hearing lots about Black Friday, Black Friday sales, and all that sort of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. Will, I think we almost can wrap it up here.
Yeah, I think we're good. We've went through quite a bit, almost 10 things there. So.
I know you got to run. You got an appointment coming up today, so we got to run. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for jumping on, and make sure you join us next Friday.
Yeah, we'll see everybody Friday.
All right. See you later.